Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Friday evening, the weekend is here, and this evening I thought we'd talk about differences and how you deal with them. As you will probably have seen, my daughter has moved back home and she has started a YouTube channel, and she's been made redundant just literally not long after she moved back here. So her life is in flux, as is mine, as I get used to her being back here. But I thought I would check because, or at least discuss this, because it seems to be a big question. And whether it's your child living with you or your partner, husband, wife, whether you're living with your parents or your parents are living with you, if you have to live with someone, there has to be a balance found. There has to be a way of doing things, because it would be extremely wrong for someone to impose their way on someone else. Whether I tried to impose on Kathleen or Kathleen tried to impose on me, or if Patrick and I had moved in together, if he had said, right, this is the way it's going, or I'd said, that's the way it's going. No, just no happening. We're all grown-ups. We all have our own way of doing things. And so I thought I'd explain how Kathleen and I do things, because there's already been a few comments about different ways that she spends compared to what I do. I think she said she got a comment today about someone saying shattering the illusion or something. There is no illusion. We tell you what's happening. Why would I bother with an illusion? Kat dyes her hair. She gets her nails done. She buys rubbish. I know that. You know that. You've seen it on the videos. She's a grown woman. She's allowed. She makes her own money. She gives money. I was going to say donates, but that's not right. She gives money to the household. She always has, since she was 16. When she was working part-time, she put money into the household. She was using the internet. She was using the electricity. She likes hot baths just as much as I do. So we spend a lot on heating the water. Not as much as we used to, mind you. But as a grown adult, I'm happy to have my child living with me, just as I'd be happy to have Patrick living with me. If you agree to live with someone, there needs to be some give and take. Now, as I say, Kathleen puts into the household. She gives me money on her payday. What she does with the rest of her money is up to her. If she wants to spend it doing her nails, good on her. If she wants to spend it dyeing her hair, that's up to her. The money that she gives me gives her a basic house with light, heat, internet, freezer space, etc. Well, not so much freezer space this week. We've still barely made a dent in the freezers, and that's with no spend. But yeah, that's what we've done. And what Kathleen wants to spend her money on after that is up to her. Just as if you are a couple, once all your bills are paid and you've got everything sorted, there's a number somewhere. In most partnerships, when you're living somewhere, there's a number somewhere in the money. And that's all the bills paid, that's us there. So this is what you've got left. And sometimes there's very little left. Sometimes there is some. Or sometimes, as I say, when it's someone like Kathleen and I, or like Patrick and I, because we're grown-ups, we're older now. We don't have young kids that we've got to get this, that and the next thing for. The only thing I've got to get for is my pussycat. Wee Raven needs to be looked after. And Raven will be looked after. After that, anything I do is my choice. And if you're a couple, as a couple, you agree how you're going to split the bills. Are you going to pull every penny you've got together, cover everything, and whatever's left over, you can then see what you need, what you want, etc.? Or are you going to have a specific budget that you both put into the household and then you still have some of your own money left? There's so many different ways of doing it, and none of them are wrong. None of them are wrong at all, because you do what works for you. I know people who have children Kathleen's age, older even, who have come back into the house and they don't have to contribute anything. But they have to buy everything. They have to buy their own food, etc., etc. So I don't do it that way. Kathleen gives me a percentage of her wages, she always has, and that's what we put forward. For Patrick and I, if we were living together, it would be, what do we need to put in from both sides to cover heat, light, rent, mortgage, whatever the actual bills were. We would put together half and half, and then whatever we've got left on either side, that's our money to see what we want to do with it. Do we want to go on holiday? Do we need to fix the bikes? Do we want to go and do something stupid? Or do we want to go and blitz on shopping or go out for dinner or whatever? And I think that is an essential part of living with someone. And that you need to work together, but you also need to have your autonomy. And especially if you are a parent-child. Sorry, I can hear thunder. If you're a parent-child living together, especially with an adult child who's bringing in a wage, as long as they contribute to your household, that's up to them, what they do with the rest of their money. If Kathleen was coming to me every day saying, Mum, I need money for this, Mum, I need money for that, you best believe the first thing to be going would be her nails and her snacks. But she doesn't. She's out working. She always has been. So therefore, I don't have a problem with whatever she wants to spend her money on. That's up to her. Now, I know I keep harping back to Kathleen and I. It's just easier for me to describe it like that. Because if you are a family working together, no one person is right and the other is wrong. It never works like that. If you're running a household, it needs to be run to benefit everyone. Just like Kathleen eats white bread, Patrick likes 50-50, I like brown. We swap round, and if I buy brown and I don't have any 50-50 or white in the house at that time, they can go and buy their own or they can eat my brown. It's not that it's going to kill them. I have my UHT skimmed milk that I use in my tea because that's really all I ever use milk for. Kathleen and Patrick both like the semi-skimmed milk. So that's what they buy. Kathleen buys that for herself. I don't buy that. That's not in my household budget. She buys that for herself. But if she needs to use for coffee or tea the UHT, then she just uses it. But if she wants a big glass of milk to go to bed at night, that's her that's buying that, no me. So yeah, I think it's quite interesting, and I think it's something to think about, and something that we can see perfectly just now, since Kathleen's moved back with me. And that is how you need to manage being together with someone, whether it be friends, family, whatever. You've got to compromise. And it's not difficult to do. Most of the time. Music taste can be a bit of a problem. But yeah, it's not that difficult to do. But it can seem quite a big deal to many, many people. And obviously some people are saying, your mum's putting out these videos about being frugal, about saving money, you're putting money on your nails. Yeah, she works for that money. Bring it on. She's allowed to buy whatever she wants as long as she's put into this household. Just the same as I'm allowed to buy whatever I want. I don't. I buy what I need because I have made a conscious choice that I'm not sure, with all this cost of living and prices going up and interest rates not coming down and all this, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'd like to have a backup, thank you. That's my choice. So, yeah, that's how it goes. So I'm going to go now because it's Friday night. Patrick will be here soon. We're going to have a night off, rest and relax. So I hope you have a glorious Friday evening, and I'll catch you later.